Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in once more. The emotional rollercoaster ride is about to take you on another epic adventure. I'm your host, Mr. Andy 2D6, and this week I'm joined by looking a little bit unusual, because if you're the observant among you will have noticed that we have two Spuds in the hangout this week. He's having one or two technical difficulties, so his voice is coming through one source and his face is coming through the other, because we really think that you need both aspects of the Spud. Oh, well, there we've got two Spud faces now. I think that's an overload of Spud, though. So, Spud, technical difficulties aside, how are you doing? And now he's just booted one of them out of the hangout, and that was the one that was providing his voice.
Yes, booted is talking.
So let's just assume that Spud is all wonderful today, and let's move on to our next chiller, the two-time Relics European Championship runner-up, Miss Dreddy.
Yeah, that's me. Hi, I'm here again, once more. And I look forward to talking lots of Relics today, and especially New M, because the New M Master Race is a thing, as we all know.
It certainly is. We are going to be delving quite deeply into the New M, because our guest is a bit of a fellow New M enthusiast, shall we say, community legend, the Foxman, Mr. Andrew Foxon. Hello there.
Hello!
And how are you this fine evening?
Guys? Oh, very well, thank you. Really well.
Excellent.
I finally got the computer up and running, but...
Yep. It's kind of lucky that you had a couple of technical issues of your own, since Spud was still ironing his out until about 1 minute before the broadcast. And then as soon as we started, look what he does.
Right.
That's Spud for you. But while Spud is incapacitated, that means that the only people who are available to talk right now are Newham players.
Yeah, which
Shall we
is the
talk
good
about
thing.
Relics while Spud is giving us some offensive hand gestures there? And no doubt.
Celebration. I just put like one of my Newham like on my sidebar on my XSplit just to represent.
So
Here we go.
let's start with our guest then. Now, most of us know you as a valued member of the Relics community. So, how did you get dragged into that whirlpool of, I was going to say despair, but it's quite a wonderful community, really.
Hello. Yes. I think about over a year ago, I was at Wartown in Scarborough. I was at a tournament doing a bit of 40k, and sorry. What happened was I obviously saw Gavin, Colin, and Gavin's mum at the stall that they had, and factions that they had, and for me, these who don't like a naked baby that's being mounted. But it's ever since then, I've just been wanting to do more with the Relics. It's a good group. We've got a good group of people on it. So I'm just gibbering. I've had a long day today.
So I think we got the gist of what you said, but a little bit cut out, and then the next thing we heard was naked babies.
Yeah, it was like
Yes.
nothing, and then it was naked baby, and everyone was just like, all right.
Yeah, so I think our one viewer might have left when you said that as well.
Yeah, I think like Hangout had a little hang up here, hiccup. I
So,
think we can work with that.
While Spud is still ironing out one or two issues, shall we talk about what drew us to the Newham in particular? Right, who wants to go first?
I think we should let our guest go first. Just the courtesy.
Other than the
of
fact
guest.
that they had naked babies.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Spud. We're just talking about naked babies at the moment.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm still sorry.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it, really.
I'm glad you interrupted for that public service announcement, Spud.
Yeah, it's just been an emotional. Just don't get it. It's been sausage rolls and feeling sorry for myself.
Now then, where were we?
Yeah, where were we? As I said, I think the thing between obviously the four factions was like obviously you had the Arkner, which are a very bashy, get in there and do the business, And obviously then you got like your battalions where there are quite a lot of shooting. And I think it was just my type of style of play that I wanted to do. Obviously, to try and bring something that had both of them, but also a bit of magic. And New Im obviously ticked all the boxes for me. I think obviously Vaitier, I nearly went for Vaitier at one point, but then obviously they're a bit of a quite a glass hammer type of faction. You know, you have to really set them out right. You've got to actually make sure that they've casted the right magic spells, and you've got the right quantity of models, if you like. Because if you don't, then you're not going to really do well in playing games.
I think you made the right choice right there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that. So, Mr. Eddie, do you want to tell us why you went for the Newham?
Yes.
We'll get to Spud at the end and find out why he loves Newham so much.
So, like, I started out with Britannons. Like, they're super squishy. And I played some games with them, got to like them, but I always liked dwarves. So, dwarves are cool, and I'm also a big fan of the Bioshock series. And when I saw this guy right here, like this, oh, that's the wrong hand there, this guy here, yeah, I was in love with the New M, and I pretty much traded my whole Britannian army for a New M army. And I decided on a color scheme that would probably not be around much, which was hot pink with rainbow weapons. Which, like, I'm not a pinky person even. I don't even like pink that much, but it seemed like the trolley thing to do, like in the wargaming community, and I don't know, I just did it. And I also like how beefy they are. I like more elite armies that have less models, more punch. They can take a bit of a beating and don't just fall over. And so the New M were pretty much, they should have been my first choice, but that's alright.
If you're going to pick a pink colour scheme with rainbow weapons, then it's lucky you didn't go for one of the historical games, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true. It's
there would have been rioting in the streets, I think, if you'd done that.
Yeah, just like Napoleonic French, with like rainbow rifles.
For me, personally, what drew me to the Newham, I would like to say it was the models or the style of play or the backstory, but it was, in fact, the orange dice that they come with.
They come with... Are they orange?
They are. The Newham dice are orange. The Britannons are red. One of those is blue, I think. But anyway, the orange dice, that's what drew me in instantly towards them. And that was before I saw any of the models, I decided I was going to play them. And then once I saw the models, I was pleased with my choice. Once you look at the Dedicatus and all that stuff, all very, very juicy and Bioshock-esque.
That's true. But the question is, why didn't you paint them orange?
The reason I didn't paint them orange, for a start, that would have been more difficult. And I've got a lot of stuff to paint as it is. But two, I also wanted to paint them in a similar way to the style they're presented with in the official Relics box art and all that kind of stuff. Right. So I wanted to go with the same colour scheme as that because I was going to do demo games. So I wanted them to look... When someone was playing a demo, I wanted them to be able to recognise that's the model I just played with when they look on the shelf. But the one I played with was painted nowhere near as good as that, but it's the same colour. You get the idea. And then, of course, in the play style of Newham, as we were discussing, they are the all-round faction, which is always nice, which does lead to some people saying that they're maybe easier to use than some of the others. I'm not sure that's entirely the case.
Yeah, some foul people even said there might be the Space Marines of the Relics world, but of course that's to be snuffed at. Like,
yeah, but then people who say that, they should probably take into account the fact that Orknar have more 4+ saves, if you will, than Newham do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, Bud. So, Bud, what do you love about Newham?
What I like about Newham, I like the models.
You're a little bit quiet there, Mr. Spud. You might want to bring whatever you're putting the audio through a bit closer to your body.
How about now?
Yes, that's better.
Delicious.
That was a very seductive voice you put on there.
So, yeah, I really like the models because I even got a new army, and I just put them in a Kings of War army instead because I just couldn't trade the Orkney in Relics. So I put them in Kings of War as steam engines because I play like abyssal dwarfs, like chaos dwarfs. And I'm like, well, these are supposed to be dwarfs. And they look awesome, so they're going on a base. And that's it, really. Everything else, they can just go burn.
So, now I do have a few pictures of our guests' particular newer models lined up in a very professional manner, ready to show to the world. First of all, let's look at this bad boy, shall we? Boom, look at that.
Yes.
That is very, very tasty indeed. So, how did you come up with this painting style with the the chessboard kind of basing?
I was obviously reading a bit of the fluff and the city that it used to be in before, and then obviously it turned into ruins. I just sort of had that bit of a feel about it. Being a bit of a steampunk, but also it's a stitchpunk type of game. But with the chessboard, I was more like I don't know. I just came across it one day, and I thought, oh, that'd be great to obviously stick maybe some cogs or something towards it. Obviously with the new aim, with they seem to be with that type of style, if you like.
Right.
And I've just then thought, well, why not? I did like a part of the ruins of their old city. So obviously from the back, I've done obviously a few cogs, just like some dead leaves where it's the actual it's obviously it's a ruined place where they're just I'm just gibbering.
It reminds me a bit of the new Alice games. There's also an older one, like the dark Alice in Wonderland games that have that dark feel with the checkered floors and everything. And
I can say I think that's probably the way that I'm going down with it. And then like the actual colour scheme of the guys, I was trying to do a metal non-metal technique, and obviously from the front of it all, it's obviously the light shining onto it a lot, but from like the back end, it's quite dark. But I don't know. When I did the first one, which was the Domini for the competition.
you won that.
I wish I had. I think I came third.
Oh, you came third, really? I had like 3 Britannian troopers like in that competition, didn't win in this anything, like got 1 vote. It's cool that I thought you came first. That's crazy.
Yeah, no. What I'd done as well was I actually painted the New Im symbol right underneath the Domini itself, under its belly. Got that one. I don't think you'd be able to see it. It was just obviously. If I can just. No. I don't think you can. Can you see it at all?
Yeah. Ish, kind of.
We can see some nice professional images on my screen right now if Mr. Spud would be kind enough to put it on there. But you probably can't make out too much detail on them, but you get the overall gist of it.
Yeah.
Look at that. But what I generally refer to your army as is the Newham army that shows up mine and all the other Newham armies at tournaments, making everyone else look bad.
Well, I think it's only because I spend so much time on them. I think each model it takes me a good couple of months, but that's only because obviously being a parent gamer as well. So the time that I do spend is probably only like a couple of hours now and again on each night, just to try and maybe do like a small fraction of the actual model itself, even if it's something small like the Penitentiums. That can take me a good couple of weeks.
I was able to feel quite good about turning up to a tournament against your stuff originally because only about half your army was painted.
Yeah.
But then more recently you started turning up to tournaments with a fully painted army, so I'm not too pleased about that.
So I'm slowly getting there. I know, I hate being the prime man at the moment because I've got literally a full whack of models up here, which are all primed, just ready to get painted. It's just obviously with commitments at home and I guess
Yeah.
buying more things as well, as you do as a gamer.
Oh yeah, that's always a danger we are in as wargamers. Speaking of dangers, you seem to have a dice bag there in the background. That is
Oh,
new M dice bag.
From the lovely dice bag lady.
Yeah, I just want to say that looks like some quality dice bag right there that you might be able to purchase yourself at the dicebaglady.net.
Is that orange as well?
It is, yes. It's orange as well, yeah.
That is quite
Really
tasty.
nice, really nice. I bought two, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Nice.
If you see an orange ninja breaking into your house to steal your dice bag, it's not me. You can tell the authorities that it's anyone but me. Definitely wasn't that guy.
Yes. Also, it's like a quality. It's like a seal of quality, like as a wargamer when you own one of those dice bags, especially when it is for one of your armies. There we go.
Yeah.
If you turn up to a table with no dice bag at all, if you just have a pencil case or a sock or something, then really what you're doing being a wargamer.
I had a guy with a sock yesterday, having his dice in a sock. It was hilarious. I haven't seen that in quite a while.
I've got my cozy dice bag.
Right.
I've now got the limited edition Orkney counter holders. Yeah.
Ooh, have you got one to show us?
I'll just pop over here for a second.
Well, oh, there he goes. Well, let's see him rummaging.
Yes, when we look at his backside, there you go, comes back.
So this boom.
Ooh.
That seems to hold quite some counters.
Yeah, it's handy to have little bags like that as well, because obviously within a dice bag you have quite a lot of space, but you also end up putting a lot of things in there that you want to keep separate. So having smaller bags like that to keep within a larger dice bag is of course very useful.
Well, I've got one for each. Oh, I've just lost it. I've got like wound counters, but you get damage counters now from relics. But like my activation tokens, I could put them in some of these as well.
Would anyone like to guess who has been the only one to comment so far on the video?
Oh,
I'm gonna guess. Wargaming.
is it the G-Man?
It is a G-Man. It is not the G-Man.
Oh, I see.
It is, of course, Graham Collin. He says tra-la-la, so not very constructive at all.
Right. Hi, Green. He's everywhere.
So, obviously, back to the Foxman again. As far as Relics tournaments go, that's where, of course, we met you.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked about briefly that you'd been to tournaments for another game that you had to cough to utter the name of. Are tournaments a big part of your wargaming life?
To be honest with you, no, not really. I just went for it when I was down at Scarborough. I thought I'd given, obviously, having that experience of doing a tournament, when it came to the Relics ones, I was like, oh, that's great, because obviously I don't think they've done any before. And so for me, it's still a new experience, and obviously meeting new guys on the first one, it was awesome. It's good to play against people who have done quite a lot of tournaments in the past. But yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Now, I believe I've played against you twice, haven't I, at tournaments?
Yes.
And am I right in thinking that I won one of them and the other one was a draw?
Yes. Yeah.
So I can claim to be undefeated against you. So it doesn't matter how well painted your army is. Although Spud does tend to crush all before him.
Yeah. Well,
have you played against Spud?
Well, I must admit, it was a good game that we had against Spud on the last tournament. I managed to also bring out the new the Ruinite on that one, and it was quite nice that it could actually take up so much damage, if you like, or absorb so much of the army just by one model.
Yeah, when Spud starts throwing forward his models that are trying to get knockdowns on everybody, yeah, try knocking down a Ruiner, Spud. Ain't gonna happen, is it?
Right. Also, halfway unrelated, Mr. Foxon, do you call your man cave the foxhole? There we go.
I've not actually called it that, but yeah, maybe.
Have you ever called anything else the foxhole?
Because we need creative names for our hobby environments. It's important.
Could think about that actually. Yeah,
You
if I
could
could
put
do some
a
painting
sign.
tutorials or something.
Yeah, you could
Sign
start a
outside
vlog.
the door. Just
Yeah.
so people know that this is the domain of the fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then start a vlog with a name. Have it
No.
branded.
Do you own any other Relics models other than Newham?
I have. I've purchased the Ortner. I've got something in the region of like 600 points of Ortner. Started picking up a few models from the Vatia as well. But the latest one that I've got is the Ridend, which I've not constructed yet. They are here in front of me, and they're just waiting for me to stick them together. But yeah, I've got the Ridend. Little chickadee guys.
They're very tasty, aren't they?
They
Am I
are.
right? Am I right in assuming that you haven't painted too many models for the other factions yet?
Nothing at the moment. No, it's just like I say, it's everything's all primed and ready to go. So it's just a case of just finished off a commission work for a friend of mine, which is to do with the other game that I talked about before previously.
We'll get to that in a minute, I'm sure. Have you ever considered speed painting to get through some things a little bit quicker, or have you got too much pride in your work?
Yeah, I guess I do have pride in my work. I don't know. I do enjoy the painting side of things. I think ever since I was like 16 when I first got into wargaming, it was always about the painting rather than actual playing. And I think only since the last like 5-6 years, I've sort of been trying to balance them both. But obviously, I'm still hand on heart. It's my painting I like to do most. And yeah.
Is Relics your main game at the moment? Has it taken over the others that you played previously, or is 40k still right up there? Any other games that popped up?
Well, no, I must admit I try and demo Relics quite a lot on my club on a monthly basis. I think Relics has taken over pretty much everything. Obviously, I still play a bit of 40k. I've started getting into a few new systems, which I've obviously purchased over the couple of months. I've got a few of the Arcwood miniatures up at the top here. I've collected some of the warbands, and I've got a nice little tasty fire dragon up at the top there with some death kiwis ready to get some paint on as well. Everything's all primed, so it's just trying to get the paint onto them, which I'm looking forward to doing. But it's not just like the models; it's the basing as well. I always take a bit of time and care into as well as the basing.
Yeah, when I look at a model, like for example, these Orknar that I've been working on, this Unman, I look at that and think, hey, it's almost finished. It's a bit shiny at the moment, but almost finished. And then I look at the base and I think, yeah, that's only going to take me a second because it's just going to be a bit of sand on there, a bit of a wash over it, some grass. But some people treat the base like a work of art all on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I've never really done.
Right, I just bought resin bases for my new M. That was it.
I take quite a lot of time doing my bases, to be honest. I like doing bases a lot.
Yeah.
And I've upped my game recently on my basing, like just as sad as putting things like your weapon is facing, so like a branch or something that is facing, like it's base composition really. Because I've been doing a lot more stuff for like not display, but I'd like it to be displayed one day. So I've been taking a lot more time on basing than anything. But I wanted to ask Mr. Foxon, do you use an airbrush, or is everything hand painted?
I do use an airbrush on a few things, but a lot of the time it's all hand. Yeah, I do it by hand.
So you don't believe airbrushing is the devil or anything?
Not really. I think because it's for the airbrushing for me, it's still a fairly new experience as well. I've always done hand painting, so yeah, a lot of my 99% of my work is all hand painted. Obviously, I've got a few. Again, it's the commission work that I'm doing at the moment. There's a load of Fire Warriors, which I was just like, at least try and get the base colours down. Using an airbrush, it does help it a lot quicker, and then I can get into the fine detail with the brush.
That's what I found myself using the airbrush for most. Undercoating first of all, or priming, and then base coats. And then if it's something, if I want to get really adventurous and it's maybe a ghost, and ordinarily I would have done with dry brushing, maybe get some kind of ghoulish effect, I could then try doing that with the airbrush. That's about as far as I've gone so far. As far as adventure goes with the airbrush, I haven't gone in and done anyone's individual eyeball, the pupil of their eye with an airbrush yet. I know some people out there can probably do that.
I have just looked at airbrushes online, and that's it. Don't have one.
I think with airbrushes with me now, I do my undercoat because it doesn't take as much detail off the actual model, and plus obviously like metal models it's really good, and for any models it's really good. And then I used to rely on it a lot more, but recently I've been trying to use brushes a lot more, like to kind of balance in between, because I kind of felt like I was cheating somehow.
One thing I really love about it,
I did it, and I was just like, that was far too easy.
with airbrushes, when it comes to priming, I've given up on using primer that's in a can and just use airbrush now, because with the cans obviously you have to go outside unless you're a lunatic, but then it's all a bit of, okay, do I balance this box lid on top of this wheelie bin, or do I put it on this bit of concrete outside and then the wind blows something over and you've just chipped the arm off one of your models. If it's metal and you're spraying it outside, that's always a nightmare. And there's always a risk of, if the weather's not ideal, if the weather's not in that perfect, too hot, too cold, you have to get it just there, otherwise something's going to go horribly wrong, and then it's twice as bad when it comes to varnish as well. So using an airbrush for things like that,
when you
it just makes sense.
From doing the when I used to spray with my can, sometimes you used to have them white speckles all over it, and you just like.
Yeah, models sometimes do get ruined that way. Now, I think.
That's why I just don't bother anymore.
So you mentioned that you were working on some Fire Warriors as a commission.
Yes.
How much time do you put into commission painting in your everyday life?
Oh, crikey. I think on a daily basis it's I'd say about, that's not much, but 2 to 3 hours, but that's like, for what I've actually got spare, that's pretty much all my time that I actually do have. Well, during the weekdays it's a quite busy time for me, because obviously working, and then obviously being a full-time dad as well, so you've got kids to put to bed and everyone, so before you know it, and you've had something to eat, it's like 9 o'clock at night, so you think to yourself, right, I'll get myself upstairs, go up and down for a few hours, before you know it, it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, oh, I've got to work in a couple of hours.
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours on commissions, that's a solid chunk out of your day, especially when you don't have much time. That's
4 hours gone and all you got done were just the eyebrow on a Fire Warrior. It's beautifully highlighted and blended though. It looks great, but it's going to take you a few more sessions to get the whole face done.
Just a bit, yeah. Like I say, when it comes to weekends, and hopefully I'll try and get a bit more time on the weekends. But yeah, it's like I say, I'll probably get like a couple of models done. I might even get like 2 or 3 Fire Warriors done on a night, and it's I'm getting deluded. I get deluded because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I've got all these models still to do, or I've done this many, and it's
it does get a little bit overwhelming at times when you just see a wall of models, especially when you're really tired. You think, should I just stay up and paint that one more? Probably a bad idea, because if you make a mistake, then you'd have to stay up and fix it, so you'd be up even longer.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, I can't leave a mistake on the table. I have to fix it right then and there.
I have to fix it too. And what I did lately to prevent like that, just looking at all those unpainted models and just losing all the energy to do it, is just I put everything into little project boxes on their own and just put them beside each other. I just grab a project box. I don't see the models, I just see boxes. And then I just do the project I feel like, and I don't see all the other models, so that's great. It works for me.
What I found is if there's anything that I've done wrong or I'm not happy with the model and I'm forced to go to sleep, then I just kind of lie there. Like, it's just da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It's just embedding itself into my brain, and I have to run upstairs and correct it instantly.
Right.
So if it's something that you have to leave to dry for 24 hours, for example, before you can fix it, that just drives me insane.
I think obviously the thing with the big systems is like there's so many models that you do have to do, but like the likes of Relics, where you'll probably have about at most 20 models, something like that. You know, you can do it at your own leisure. You know, there's no actual rush to do them all.
It's true.
Unless you're the kind of guy who is going to be running a hangout league and you want to get a third faction ready in time for it, and you need to get a big pile of Orknar done, which is what I'm doing at the moment. Speaking of which, you did declare a bit of an interest in that, didn't you?
Yes, definitely, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say whenever you've got time to do
very
it.
nice, very nice. I will most likely be one of your opponents, and I guess you want to play New M, so I won't play New M. So
Well,
I will just.
I don't mind, I'll play.
You don't mind?
Them. Yeah, no, it's good.
Well, the way we're going to do it, I think, is everyone who signs up for the league has to come up with a 200-point army list for all the 3 available factions, and then rank them in order of which one they prefer using the most. So if 2 people have a different number 1, then that's fine. You just use their number 1. If they both have the same, then it gets a little more complicated, and then people would be dropping down to number 2, or maybe rolling off to see who gets their number 1 choice.
Right.
Because if you're actually presenting it, Andy, then I guess what you could do is maybe pull us out of the hat. So you've got whoever rolls off the highest, then they can obviously choose whatever it is, and the other person has to get the drabins, if you like, whatever's left over.
Yeah, there are a few ways we could potentially do that. At the moment, I think we've got about 5 people interested right now. I'm hoping that with that number, I think we could probably do it, but I'd like to get a couple more, perhaps.
Yeah.
A couple more people interested.
Just to get more variety.
And maybe once people have seen it in action once, and it's a big deal, and they see all the glamour that comes with winning it, then more people will be interested when they see the winner being paraded out on all the red carpets with celebrities.
Yeah, they will stand in line to be able to play.
You're taking selfies in the VIP section of nightclubs with all the various Hollywood film stars and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just start doing that now.
Well, you can.
Spud, I'm not sure if you're going to win. I may be a little bit slow on painting all the Rifen, actually, Spud.
Just my camera's moved up a little bit back.
Spud.
Oh, my winners' medals.
Spud, I'm not sure what you're actually saying now, but to me it sounds like, Andy, please hurry up and paint 15 Gryman for me.
I may work kind of for the tour, but I don't like them using them.
Yeah, you know.
In my opinion.
Well, it's going to be interesting when it happens anyway.
It will.
So,
yeah.
I'm a nice guy, and I'm going to send Mr. Andy Ransom some Gryman, Napper, and there was something else, I can't remember what it was. And then I need Mr. Foxon's address, because I'm going to send him a little package of the Chronicler model.
Ooh, I think he just wants to see you paint it.
Yeah, that's it. obviously the rules aren't out for it yet, but I know Foxon's sick of painting, enjoys painting, and he's never going to win, so I went there.
You know what we could do? We could have a video series called Fox Hunting. I don't know exactly what the basis of the video series is. I've just got a title right now.
I think you just like give Mr. Foxon a model and pretend that you gift it to him, then he paints it and you try to steal it back at the tournament while he's not looking.
And replace it with one of mine, and he won't know the difference.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good idea, actually. If you can't afford a commission painter, just give them models, let them paint them, and then steal them back again.
Yeah, there you go. It works.
It could work. So, I think we've covered all the Relics topics. So, shall we move on to a little bit 40k then, since that's your other game of choice, or the game that you were into prior to Relics? So, which armies do you play in that?
I am a Tau player. I play Tau. It's quite controversial to what I do with Relics with Nui.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always liked him.
As guest did Tau, and then I were like, oh, you know what? I really wanted to do Tau for ages, and now you do Tau.
Everyone is all about the Tau on the show lately. It's crazy.
I don't know any rules. But they look cool.
They do look cool. When you're playing Tau, do you find that they take longer to play than other armies because they have a lot of different things going on, like marker lights and all that kind of stuff? They have things that affect other units that you have to keep track of.
Some fishy tactics.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of fishy tactics going on with the Tau. But yeah, marker lights. Yeah, if you've got a nice couple of squadrons of Pathfinders, yeah. With also a few. I've got a couple of broadsides that I need to finish off painting, and I've got the. I'm in the moment of doing one of the Riptides, although I've just done one for a friend, but I'm just doing my own at the moment. I've got a couple of them still in boxes, so it's just ongoing, if you like. I've probably got about 3,000 points worth of Tau models at the moment, but again, there's probably about a good 1,000 points worth of it still hanging around in boxes. Just
Not primed then?
Yes, more prime.
Being a Deathwing player, I'm not a big fan of Tau, because obviously I've only got about 15 models in my army, no matter what the point level. So I just want to deep strike down there, right next to your army, and just kill you. But then I find, oh yeah, we're Tau, we've got special rules, so we can just turn around and shoot at you when you're coming down next to us.
It's more balanced with the Maelstrom missions, so where you just have to jump at objectives and you don't know what you have to do next turn, and it takes a bit of the shooty edge of the Tau lately, I find.
But I have to actually think when I'm against Tau. I can't just deep strike everything right next to them.
I think it all depends on obviously what people bring. A friend of mine, he'd played against somebody with is it the Imperial Knights? And he basically had something like 4 units of Fire Warriors and give them all EMP grenades.
Right.
Yeah, obviously those. He wiped them all out. He wiped all the Imperial Knights out because obviously with the EMP grenades they're haywire, aren't they? So on a 1, is it 1? Is it 1? It doesn't do anything, and then 2 to 5 it does a glance, and then 6 to penetrating it, isn't it? Yeah. So having all them within close combat with the Dread Knight, it's the Imperial Knight. Sorry, it's a goner.
They are amazingly potent. I found the only way my Deathwing can take down an Imperial Knight is to actually charge him with my Deathwing Knights. And I think the one time I did that to an Imperial Knight, I actually blew it up about 12 times in one combat. So it would have been finished off 12 times, but then when it died, it exploded and landed on the Knights and killed most of them.
Oh, that's funny.
So I need a more cost-effective way of taking them out, I think.
Yeah, I have not played against Knights so far at all, even though most of the people in my gaming club all play 40k, and one wants to start Knights, and I think he has some now, he just needs to paint them, but he bought the Codex Knights, right? He had it in his hands. And 1 week later, the new codex came out. He was like, wow, this can't be happening. So his nights are delayed a bit now until he's not frustrated anymore. And yeah. So I have no anti-night tactics with any of my armies so far. I just have no idea.
Well, the new Space Marines are out now, and
Yeah, lots of graviton guns.
that's what it looks like. It looks like Dark Angels can have them as well now, which is nice. Although, the thing that annoys me is that the other armies have access to turn 1 deep striking now, not just Deathwing.
Right.
Like the one thing that Deathwing had that was better than everybody else. Everyone
Yeah.
can get it now.
The good thing is when you're like me and you now play a Mechanicum as a 30k list and 40k, you have all those things that you can give you guys that prevent people from deep striking around you or infiltrating, and it's amazing. It's a lot of fun because people, they just have to go somewhere else and then you shoot them with conversion beamers and laugh at them.
Do you melt their butt cheeks a lot?
Yes, I actually do.
Yeah, I remember that video you made about melting Eldar butt cheeks.
Yeah. Is Spot talking?
Design team I've added to the new Space Marines that it looks so different. It's just amazing.
It is amazing how different they look. They almost look like a completely new army, the new Space Marines. It's crazy.
It's like
Yeah.
they look exactly the same as each other. It's really good what they've done.
The Librarian has his staff in the other hand now, though.
What it actually looks like,
The best thing I've ever seen.
the one change I've noticed, other than the base size, obviously, which has got to look a bit bigger, I've noticed that the Space Marines, for the I think it's, what's the big grav weapon called? It the grav cannon,
Grav
maybe?
Cannon, yeah, I
Well,
think
that,
something.
it looks like they've taken a multi-melter, cut the end off, and just put like a nipple on it or something. So yeah, it's very creative.
Yes.
I don't think they need to be updating Space Marines this often.
Yeah.
So
I
if
don't
they're not
know.
going to change the appearance too much.
No, it's weird.
Oh, I wonder if
Yeah.
Dark Angels can have Centurions now. Probably.
Yeah. Like if they. Yeah. I haven't really looked at the new release at all. I know nothing about the new Space Marines except more grav weapons.
Because everyone knows how much we love Centurions on this show.
Oh, yeah, they can like drop in drop pod now. I
I'm
think.
sure we didn't have an entire episode making fun of Centurions sometime last year.
Talk about not knowing nothing. If anybody watched the new season episode of Game of Thrones,
I didn't.
Awesome.
blew my mind. First 7 episodes, you don't even need to watch, just watch the last 2. Oh my god. It was beautiful.
Well,
A lot of the first 5 episodes of the latest one, everyone was like, "Oh, yeah, this is not going anywhere." And I say for the last couple of episodes, it's just been, yeah, mind blowing, isn't it? Can't wait for the last one.
Kind of.
so
Last 2 has been amazing.
Yeah.
to give everyone a minute to prepare to show off what they've been working on recently, I'm going to go over to the comments and go through those.
Ew.
So, Mr. Graham Cullen, I said that he typed tralala earlier. Apparently that was while he was waiting for the show to start, so fair enough. He also says, what's not to love about sadomasochistic dwarves? And I would say, nothing.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he says, the trick with dice is having so many that nothing short of a pair of tights, Strumpfhosen for Dreddy,
Oh, Strumpfhosen, yeah.
will suffice as a dice bag. Now, I don't think you have to go the tights route. If you have that many dice, you could either buy multiple dice bags, or you could just get a sack. I wonder if the dice bag lady does dice sacks.
I think I asked her if she actually does like crochet body bags, but she doesn't yet, at least.
Yet. Well, she hasn't even started on the Wargamer utility belt that I requested yet.
Oh yeah.
An orange Wargamer utility belt that can it holds your dice bag. It's got a little hook for your tape measure to go on. I think it'd be a really good idea. It's got pouches on it for all your tokens. You can have pepper spray on there as well for when you undoubtedly get mugged for walking down the street wearing it.
And deodorant just to spray other people that might be present that
Yeah,
you
a
don't
little
like the smell
deodorant
of.
pocket on there,
Yeah.
definitely.
You know those links to those pocket ones, don't they? When they're like really small.
Yeah.
They look like little bullets. So you could have like 3 or 4 of them, just like different colours, a bit like Judge Dredd. Like, activate Africa.
Definitely do that. There's actually a gap in the market, I think, that we've just identified for
Yeah.
like a wargaming fragrance set.
Survival kit.
We could release a Chilling Wargamers survival kit for wargaming conventions and tournaments.
That would not be a bad idea, actually. Maybe a surprise for something, and you get all the useful things in there in a little.
Yeah, we could get we could get some companies to sponsor it. A deodorant manufacturer.
Yeah.
Throw in little tiny ones.
Sponsors.
Of course, we're always open to sponsorship.
Yeah, violence.
And also, Graham Collin apparently has some pink towel, by the way.
Woo!
Nice.
Before we go on to what we've been up to, I've got a new release to show.
Have you? Is it juicy?
Yeah. So I click on myself, click on my screen, share. So, it is by the legend Savage Forge Minis, and it is the Fantasy Bust 1/10. And it's pretty much like a Jolly Viking. So, let me try zooming.
It does look a little bit like a very muscular Santa, doesn't it, that one?
Yeah, I just absolutely love it to bits. It's so cute. Well, not cute, but it's just
So
amazing.
cute, you just want to pinch his little cheeks.
So that's just come out now, literally yesterday. They come out, and at the moment on his Facebook, he's doing. He's got 15% off code as well. So 15% off €35, whatever that is. So yeah.
Anyone who
That's
likes
pretty
an
good.
impressive bust, there you
And,
go.
Yeah.
if you've not seen this one before, this one's really cool. This is the Carlos sculpt. It's just a naughty pirate, really.
Yeah, that is. If there was ever a naughty pirate, there it is.
It's just absolutely awesome. And then, this is a new one called Benedict as well. This is 1/8. It's a little bit smaller, but
He has that goblin guy too, right?
no.
I'm
that's
starting to think that he is actually part robot, by the way, to crank out all these.
Yeah, it's just over the years. Like some of these,
Oh, I love the Afro zombie. It's the best thing ever.
pretty old school. I wish he had a date on him. I remember like him sculpting these back in the olden days. And now look at, and that's really cool. And then he just upgraded to Naughty Pirates. This is my favourite.
Yeah, that one's cool, that is.
Yeah.
I think the Afro zombie might go on my list now.
So yeah,
No.
I've got,
What about
and then he's got
the
these with the guy
the Orc one, the Pirate Orc.
who did the Grumpy Bunny with the axe. Obviously.
Now, Spud, there is something else that we need to share with the world as well. There is a particular Kickstarter run by a friend of the people, friend of the community, that's about to end in a couple of days.
Yeah, definitely.
Which needs a few more pounds throwing at it.
I don't know if you can find it, because I can't find it on Kickstarter for some reason.
Well, I will grab it right now.
And it's prepared.
Yep. In fact, I'm going to send it. I'm going to send it right over to you, Spud. Right there.
Okay. Yeah, I finished work early. I got home, and then computer issues.
Shall we tell the tale of your computer issues, actually?
Oh yeah, we'll tell the tale. So, if anybody out there knows who's good with computers, so every time I go to shut the computer down, it flashes like loads of different like internet tabs. And one
Want
of
to tell us what's on them?
one of them I've managed to get like literally it flashes them like that really really fast. And one of them it said Cam 4. So I googled Cam 4, and obviously that's a naughty site. Okay,
Yeah.
Spud, you are just a naughty pirate, a naughty internet pirate.
so that happens there. So I've run my virus software. It's removed 7 threats. Turned it off today, and there's only like 2 or 3 flashing, but they don't look naughty anymore. They're just normal websites, but I can't see what they are. Also, I'll let Andy explain this bit because it's more technical. I don't really know what's going on.
Okay. When Spud starts talking, his microphone volume slowly decreases until it hits 0.
Yeah, we had that live the whole time before we started.
Like a podcast.
Yes, he can move it back to 100. He can unmute himself, slide it back up, and then whenever he utters a word, it drops about 15%, and then it just keeps going down, down, down until it hits 0.
His PC just mutes him when he continues talking.
So he's either haunted, he has a computer virus, or there's something in his audio options that we couldn't find with our expertise.
Yeah, and
We went through all his audio options, all the microphone options and everything. We Googled various... They were supposed to cure the problem.
Yeah, applications can't like do that anymore now. That's turned off. So
Yeah, if anyone knows what could potentially cause the input level of a microphone to just slide down, 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 down like that, put solutions in the comments. Mr. Graham Collin, if you might be a bit of a computer expert there, you spend a lot of time online, don't you?
With anybody.
Yeah, we're counting on him. So, Spud, have you got that Kickstarter ready to show off?
Yeah.
That didn't sound very convincing. Yes, I sent you the message on Facebook, so if you screen share Facebook, everyone will be able to see your private conversations again.
Excellent. In time.
Because that does happen quite a bit with Spud.
yeah, yeah. And then I can talk to the stream while being on the stream over the chat windows. It's funny.
Can you see that?
Yes.
We can. So, this is a Wargaming store that's going to be opening up in... Is it Southport?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Run by community legend Mr. Martin McNeil, who everyone should know from the YouTubes. He's big. He does a lot of 40k stuff, doesn't he? But he talks about other games as well. But
Yeah.
basically, if you watch the Kickstarter video or go to his YouTube channel, which is also under the name Wargames, then you'll see him explain his vision for the store. And you can see how close he is to the goal there with 45 hours to go. Only a few £100 more. So he's got quite an interesting vision for it. He wants it to be kind of like it seems like a luxury kind of gaming store. I got the impression that people would come in and like give you a massage while you're playing the game. I don't think it quite goes that far, but you get the idea.
I won't even talk now. It's
Yeah, it's a good, that's for the best.
yeah.
We won't speculate on what the stretch goals could be.
Nope. We won't.
Definitely not. So yeah,
Well,
everyone
I
should
can-
go and check that out. Yeah. Because if you certain pledge levels, it's also going to be an online store as well. So if you pledge, you get like 10% off your orders for 2 years, things like that. And also, he does use the phrase eternal gratitude a lot. So if you want someone's eternal gratitude, if you're worried that maybe when you get to heaven the gate's going to be a bit rusty and you can't open it, he's going to be there to help push that gate open for you.
Yeah, or when everyone else gets raptured off the earth into heaven and you need someone to fight the demons and the undead with by your side, you can count on him. There you go.
Yeah, if death comes to your door and demands a soul, he demands a sacrifice, he'll be there to throw himself in front of death.
Yeah.
You. I think he even offers eternal gratitude for a pledge of £1 as well, so that's a pretty sweet deal to me. If I get all that for £1,
For a
count me in.
eternal gratitude. For the big
Yeah.
boy 1000.
You also get eternal gratitude for £1,000 as well. I imagine that's just like it's the same, but like 1,000 times more potent eternal gratitude.
It says same as 250 pledge, but you will only ever pay what I pay for products for a whole 2 years. That is the cost of wargaming for 2 years if you spend more than £1,000 on hobbying games. But if
Yeah,
you
if
go
you
back to the 250, for 2 years plus my eternal gratitude.
Yeah, so you get the eternal gratitude as well at every pledge level. And if you're the kind of guy who spends a lot of money ordering from online stores, ordering models, and you're looking for somewhere new to order from,
Yeah,
why not?
there you go.
Yep.
There you go. So, shall we show off what we've been working on recently?
Of course.
Okay, you know, because I'm so prepared, I am going to go first, I think.
Have you
Do
got
that.
So, when I say prepared, I am kind of prepared.
this guy?
Yeah.
He's not prepared.
I am a little bit prepared.
Man is sat there chilling out.
Okay, here we go. I do have the pictures. I'll show you what I've been building here. Right. Here we go. This is for my Crab Slanesh Chaos Space Marine army. This is a Lord that I've made with bits. It's a Spellcrow model, mostly, with some GW bits on there. Some Demonette arms sticking out of him. And from the side angle, you can see that he has wings as well, so he can hang out with my Warp Talons, so he can just jump around nicely. And his name is Wesley Snips. Now, at the moment, I'm just toying with different ways of elevating him off his base a little bit, because Warp Talons are known for being on their tiptoes and perching on rocks and Space Marine helmets and things. So he does look a little bit short next to them at the moment, so I need something on his base. So I was going to go with Cork, but I am open to suggestions as well, if anyone has any.
No, like I say, I was actually going to suggest Cork. That would be a good thing to put on.
That's probably
Yeah.
what I'm going to go with.
Cork is amazing.
Dedicatus. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm not going to mount him on a Dedicatus.
It would work.
Especially if you have like a roof-edged Cork, you can like stand onto it, it's like it's perched on it.
Also, something else I've been working on. I've been painting some Orknar ready for the Hangout League. These are the Unman. Now, even though the camera's not the best, because the colours are so contrasting, you can actually make it out quite well, can't you? The blue and the orange. They're a bit glossy at the moment because they've only had the gloss coat on them.
Right.
They haven't had the matte varnish to double protect them. This, of course, is the particular Unman that is most likely to fall over, I think, because of its pose.
He will fall over.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of these go rolling across the table from time to time.
A Relics drinking game, and that could be definitely one of them.
This guy, no worries about him rolling away, though. This is the guy with the really long fingernail. Look at that. He really needs some flippers.
He's well upset.
So that's what I've been working on mostly, other than video editing from the Games Expo, which has been a bit crazy.
Alright.
So, who's next?
Who wants to go next? I could go next.
Go for it.
Going for it. So the very last thing I finished painting was my Castellax proxy for my squad section of my Mechanicum army, because I'm having space dwarves in my Mechanicum army. So this is just semantic forge phases. What's he called? The Iron Ancestor. Painted up a bit of dust pigments on his legs, and
Yeah, his
just a really
parents are
quick.
going to be so angry when he comes home looking like that. Look at those trousers; they're just ruined, aren't they?
Yeah, he just went playing in the mud all day.
It's like a child he's done that on a Tuesday as well.
Yeah,
So he's still
yeah.
got all those days of school left this week, and he needed clean trousers, and look what he's done.
I used him yesterday for the first time. It was a lot of fun in a Zone Mortalis game, and he kicked a lot of butts, and then he died because people don't like big things that have toughness 7 and 4 wounds and or something. So no,
That's
that
what happens
was
in 40k, though, isn't it? Things kick off the butt, and then they die.
yeah. Normally I just try to remove him again from my thing. I will just show you the next thing. He will just hang out here in the corner for now, and I will remove him later. I also just finished painting for my Kings of War army, my minus unit for my Dwerge, the Dark Dwarfs, the undergroundy Dark Dwarfs. Where's my exploits? There we go. Pair on it. Here we have them. And they are just a base color wash army, just because I'm still kind of burned out from the big 3 months commission I did. So I just enjoy a bit of easy, quick painting, just throwing a wash in on it in the end. And the candles are just a green glaze over white and on the candles, and that's pretty much just it. But I like the effect, it kind of works.
Yeah, and for models that are going to be bunched up like that, and they're never going to be separated, so you're never going to see certain parts of them. A nice, quick,
true.
easy paint job.
It's true, it totally works. So that were those. Yeah. And that's pretty much all I worked on. I painted a few other dwarven units, but before that were the last things I finished pretty much. So yeah.
Right, who's up next?
Yeah, I'll have a go. Like I said, at the moment I've been painting commission work for a friend. Just been doing some of his town models. Back to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit of a light blue thing going on there, is it?
Yeah, like I said, it's a very light blue look to it all, to the actual whole army. I've done a Riptide, 2 Devilfish, Hammerhead, Commander, squad of crisis suits. Obviously, just finishing off the Fire Warriors, and I've just done a bunch of gun drones as well for a friend of mine. And then I've just started trying to do my own Riptide, so that's the bottom part of it.
Is that orange?
Yeah, that's orange. Oh yes, for not.
Ooh.
And I've obviously been magnetising it as well a bit, so it's.
So you can turn at the hip. He can do a little dance now, like.
So obviously you can magnetise the heads, or magnetise the head as well, the shield. So it's all quite. It can all come apart.
That's handy for big models.
It is, yeah. Like I say, I've just thought obviously for moving purposes, it's a lot easier to take down and put together. But obviously, it was a bit painstaking as well because there's so many magnets. I've probably done about 30 odd magnets to the actual model, and then since I've been doing that, obviously at Expo over the following weekend beforehand, and I got myself into Guild Ball, and I went and bought the Mortician's Guild, which I've put together and obviously got primed. That one's Casket. Can you see that one?
Oh yeah. He's carrying it with him.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that model before. It looks neat though. I heard about Guild Ball, but I haven't looked at the models much because no one here in Germany even mentions it. It's weird.
So I saw the models and I thought they were absolutely beautiful. So yeah, it's just a couple of the guys.
Yeah.
It has been mentioned quite a lot. I heard quite a lot about it at the Games Expo. A lot of people talking about Guild Ball, and they were swamped with people as well around their stand.
Yeah, it's quite popular in the UK now, and I would like to have a look at it, but...
So I was going to get some of the dice and the tokens, but apparently the manufacturers, they're going to get somebody else because they can't keep up with the demands. So hopefully by the end of the month, there should be, back up and running with the tokens and the dice, and the factions. But I've got the rule book and I've been reading it, and it's pretty sound actually. It's a nice little skirmish game, and it's all about football, but beating the snot out of your opponents as well at the same time.
Yeah, a sports game that doesn't have a grid system of any kind on the table, so it's unique. There aren't too many games like that.
That is a nice change, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Takes away from the board game feel and brings it more into the tabletop wargaming.
It stops there being such definitive strategies. Like if you're playing Blood Bowl or Dread Bowl, as much variety as you can have in those games, once you get to a certain level of competitive play, there are only going to be a small number of moves that people will actually do, just because the grid limits you slightly. Mm-hmm. But when there's no grid at all, and you can move by the millimeter, then it opens up a lot more tactical opportunities, I think.
Yeah.
So it's just nice and different.
Yeah, we've got the stat cards like Malifaux, so there's I think they've got the plot. So I've just downloaded a few of the bits and pieces as well. There's the guild plots, which you basically can download off the internet, off the Guild Ball website, and they've got some strategic things that you can do for your team. I think you can pick like 5, but you can only choose 3 out of the 5, and that obviously helps you, make your game better. Obviously, you've got the stat cards for the guys. Oh god.
Yeah.
So nice little stat cards. Obviously, I've put mine in little folders because I don't want to bend them. I'm a bit precious when it comes to like that.
It's very good.
Yeah. Just
I'd be interested into next.
well, hopefully next week. Yeah. Hopefully next week at the club, I've got a couple of guys from Hull's Angels coming down to my local club. I'm just going to do a few demos, but I want to try and have a proper game with somebody.
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of models that I've got for it. I managed to get the full team lots I was there. I could have spent a fortune at Expo. I really could have done, but I had to persuade myself not to.
Yeah,
Alright.
I did notice at the expo, people walking around and their wallets were trying to escape out their pockets quite a lot.
I really like the look of the Terminator game, as well as the AVP. Obviously, something I'm going to obviously consider for the club. But,
There's just so much stuff out there, isn't there? You have to make a choice sometimes.
yeah,
It
definitely.
often comes down to how many people you have in your area that also are interested in any particular system.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's it. At the moment, I've only had the club running for a couple of months. Well, since February, and I do it once a month. And I've got about 10 to maybe 12 regulars. Obviously, quite a lot of people that do play 40k. There's the couple of guys who play Hordes and War Machine. There's myself, who also quite like the skirmish base games. And then, obviously, I've got a friend who's got himself involved with doing the drop zone. He's bought one of the big boxes, bundles of that, and obviously I've got my own little faction there as well, which is ready for me to get hold of and start priming up.
Yeah, you did have a little bit of a drop zone experience at the expo, didn't you?
Oh yes.
Less said about that, the better, I think.
I was going to say, who won that one?
Yeah, let's talk about something else, shall we? Spud, what have you been working on?
Go. What faction did you go for?
I went for the Skitarii.
Oh, it's okay. I'm going to say if you said PHR or Scourge, you just had to say goodbye.
I quite like the look of the Skitarii. I think they're, yeah.
Oh, you mean the Shaltari?
That's it, Skitarii, that's it, sorry.
Yeah, you got Skitari on the brain, I think.
I have.
So, what I've been up to, I've been super duper busy since last week. So I managed to finish off. Let me just get my elite over here. So
Now, you do
I
have the
managed to
camera on the right Spud, don't you?
Yeah.
Good, so they're not just staring at the Spud logo.
So, a really expensive camera. Come on, focus camera. Please. Come on.
I've seen the Facebook picture of this and it's really nice. Done a good job on that.
I think you're giving him an idea.
Professional background.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Very
See it
nice.
better now.
28
That's pretty tasty,
millimeter.
actually.
It took me ages. I even used a colour wheel for the base and everything to be super professional. But I've seen some of the other people that I've entered. I'm at least coming fourth, so that's not bad, is it?
Yeah, that's for the that's for Dreadlun's competition, isn't it?
Yeah, for Mr. Dread. Yeah. So, also on the same day, I started this beast.
Very nice.
Oh.
focusing out, but that was from what
Branching out, are you, Spud?
I actually went and borrowed these exact branches from over the road. I did it live as well, you know, when my mic worked, and I pretended to ring Elson on my mobile, and I went over the road, borrowed the sticks and the slate.
Well, it looks tremendous.
I really enjoyed painting that. I really want to get that finished.
Yeah,
though it's
you
the only
would.
faction, so. And then I've been working on these beasts. Yeah. So I just started on metallics on this guy. And me and Foxon had quite a good discussion at the expo about Mr. Twish's painting style. And I've tested out the white on the edge of the metals, and it actually works. Saying how he gets the sharp edge or the dinks, he actually does use white. So I found a secret.
Is that the secret then?
Of what Dan Twist uses for his metallics to make it.
Well,
so
you
beautiful.
could win golden demons now, Spud.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm going to enter those into it.
There's with a bit of white on the highlight on the edges. It does capture a lot. It's really good.
Also, and this is kind of not my fault, because I used Google and I couldn't find a picture for this Roman, so I just tested like colours to see what it's supposed to look like. Obviously, it don't want to focus now because it's just been a dick. Focus camera. Come on.
It's thinking about focusing. Try holding it still for a minute, and it might. No, your camera's not expensive enough, Spud. Go and get a better one.
Try a white background, actually.
I just hate it.
Yeah, try the old hand behind the model technique.
That's rarely works. So I see everyone doing it, but it just get a white sheet of paper. It's just...
Spud, let the hate flow through you.
Let it out.
It's so annoying.
Well, I'm going to look at the comments now.
Right.
So,
Yep.
Bazooka J. Rambo joined us, and he is referred to us all as puddings.
Oh, okay.
It's nice of him. Graham Collins says that Spud's problem sounds viral. I'm hoping he's talking about the microphone and not anything else that
Wow.
could be viral.
Wow. Bruno as well. Look at. Oh, you can't see it. I can't bother clicking myself. But
Yeah, he primed a ruiner. Well done, Spud. You get a medal for that.
wow. Wow.
Now, Bazooka J. Rambo said that he could only afford the £1 basic pledge on the Wargames store. So he does get the eternal gratitude, and he's looking forward to that. As you should. And Thomas R. Lovewell has joined us,
Yeah, so here.
fellow Relics community legend, and he says, "Dang it, late to the party."
Okay, because you can rewatch it, can't
Yeah, you can go back and watch all the Relics discussion from earlier,
Yeah.
and then leave some very informative comments.
He will also be a contestant in the Hangout League, the Hangout Relics League.
Yep, he is well versed on Relics.
It gives a lot of opportunity to people that can't make it real tournaments and stuff, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, people either have limited time or they're just too far away. People who might be in a different country, perhaps, like somebody in this particular hangout, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, the Relics community in Germany, as bustling as it is, it's just not enough to satisfy your need for Relics action.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, what's Spud showing off now?
No, I'm just going to try to get as close as possible and see if it focuses.
I don't think that's how it works.
Maybe if you actually crack the lens and put the model's head inside the camera.
Sometimes I feel like it. As
The
well.
magic.
Mashing it a bit.
The magic that works is just this, just a white piece of paper. It's
I'm
just.
really honest, I don't think I own a piece of like this.
Spud, what kind of man are you if you don't even own a piece of paper?
Look at this. This is well Super Pro. This is one that I made
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, that could work. There you go.
Yeah, I was thinking you must at least have like a Relics errata somewhere printed out.
So
Right.
if this works, come on,
Let's
Jesus.
see.
Yeah, it needs a bit more light on
Come
it.
on.
It's kind of not in the light. But yes,
Oh,
there we go. There
It
you go.
almost focused then, but then you moved it.
Yeah, it was just like pound and it was moved away.
We had crystal clear picture for about a fraction of a second.
Yeah, just a bit more to the middle. Just to the middle. And just holding it still and no.
Wait, this is so hard.
It shouldn't be that hard with a camera that costs however much.
Stupid amount. And my lamp's falling over. Why is everything so different?
Well, while Spud's house falls down, we should probably consider wrapping this one up.
Yeah. There we go. There.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
Hey.
Hands.
yeah.
There you go. White paper. It's the magic that solves all the problems with
I've
landing.
done like a few different things. The freehand is terrible. I understand, but I just wanted to get the right yellow for. When come on, sorry, yeah. Oh, it's stuck now.
I think it's focusing on your finger then instead.
Hmm.
Kind of. The thing it took me like not very long to get the colour schemes, and I couldn't find that type of armour on the internet, and I didn't know what it was called. So I was just like, well, I'll just use this as a test piece, and then when I get my real Roman, I'll just have to ask somebody.
As you can see, audience, we are cranking up our levels of professionalism. We're all experimenting with XSplit at the moment to show off wonderful images down the side of our cameras. Apart
Yes.
from Spud, who's having his technical issues today. And
Standard.
the most professional he's ever been in an episode, having his audio coming through in a separate channel within the Hangout.
Yes.
If the audience approve of that and they think it's pretty nifty and rad, if you will, then let us know and maybe we'll bring that feature back in the future.
Yeah, just tell us.
Version of me.
If you like Spud being detached from his voice like that, let us know. People might be into that.
Yeah, we just have to sell it as a feature.
So because we're all very mature and sensible, if anyone would like to share any silly images via XSplit before we go, now would be the time.
Oh, I have a few reaction thingies. I have the best high five ever. There we go. The new M is invading it, but anyway.
I have one here. Anyone who ever goes to an event, this is the kind of picture you could end up with me. That happy smiling face could be you.
Wow.
Yeah, that's high class Photoshop work right there.
Yep. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. I think the emotional well has run dry now.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
I
the-
already feel emotionally
I think
drained.
the delicious juices of wargaming discussion have run off down into the fat tray of the George Foreman grill of chilling wargamer goodness. So I think it's time to wrap this bad boy up. I'm just going to have one final refresh of the comments page to see if anyone has said something incredibly witty that just needs to be shared. Well, Pezapu is here. He says, "Ow do," so I'm glad we got that in before the end of the show. Graham Collin thinks there could be an issue with the microphone cable.
Yeah, we tried that.
Yeah, he asks Spud to do a bit of jiggling. I'm assuming he's talking about the cable. And Gunbiz is here, and he's asking about your golem thingies that you're working on there, Spud.
Oh man, Newham's Doom.
Yeah, Newham Dedicatus, used in Kings of War. What heresy is this?
They're called ironclad steam engines, I think I'm going to call them, and I'm just going to run them as the normal stone golems as well, because I've got like 12 stone golems, so I'm calling them as a separate army now, and then run them as golems in my Chaos army.
Well, with that, I think it's time to say goodnight, everybody. So, thanks to all the chillers. Thanks to our guest, the Foxman.
Right, it has been a pleasure.
It is. No, it's been lovely. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Your first ride on the emotional roller coaster.
Oh yes.
A lot of ups and downs, twists and turns, but you've come through unscathed, I think.
Thank you.
Good night out there.
Good night. It has been an adventure.
Whatever
Don't
you
forget
are.
a like,
Bye.
a comment, and please don't forget to subscribe because we love you all.
And keep it chilled.